Back here at Darlington, and that's a battery going to the 7 car of Justin Allgaier. No qualifying here yesterday, so he's scheduled to start 3rd, but this is a late breaking story from the pit lane, no doubt, Vince.
Well, they're going to have to push him out of line. You see that process going on now. Then they're going to have to jack up the car and put that battery in. Allgaier starting 3rd. If this is indeed the issue, it's better to have an issue at the beginning. You got the rest of the race to make it up. But unfortunately, this 3rd starting position and track position is so important here at Darlington. Not the way you want to get things started, Adam.
We'll watch their progress and continue to evaluate their situation as we anticipate the green flag here this afternoon. The rest of the field is rolling off. Now we talk to the guy who starts 6th this afternoon, Brandon Jones. A month ago, got his first win of the year, first win in a couple of years when he was able to outduel his teammate at Martinsville. Boy, that 19 car was so strong that night. Tremendous strategy by the crew chief, Jeff Mendering, and he hangs on late with a tremendous restart in overtime. You love the emotion. He's won here before. Let's see if he can do it again today from the driver's seat, Ryan.
Let's call Brandon up. Hey, Brandon Jones, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Adam Alexander up in the Fox booth. You got me?
I got you guys. What's going on?
We're just sitting up here ready to enjoy a race. Like your car, throwing it back to Paul Menard. And, well, you already won at one historic racetrack this year at Martinsville. Do you think you can do it again today at another one?
I think so, man. Our Menard's Turtle Wax GR Super does look pretty sweet this weekend for sure. We've done it once here before in the past. I think we can get it done again yesterday. Had a really good practice session. So good starting spot here as well. I think this outside's going to take off on this restart here pretty good. We'll have to see how it all shakes out.
Well, good deal, man. Well, have a good one today. Be safe and try to keep the right side fairly clean.
Sounds good. We'll try.
Off the car right here.
If you're going to get a Darlington stripe, just do it softly, right?
That's right.
You've heard from Joey, you've heard from Ryan. Now let's bring in our spotter analyst, Coleman Presley, high above the spotter stand today. You appear a bit conflicted with your throwback uniform this afternoon, Coleman.
Yeah, they told me to bring the 60s to the racetrack this weekend, so I brought a rivalry that was born in the 60s between my grandfather and Asheville native Jack Ingram. Today, you know, with it being throwback weekend, I had to seek some advice from a 2-time Darlington winner, my dad, Robert Presley, won here in the early 90s. The biggest thing he says, race the racetrack. Don't get caught up in the other people's battles. There can be comers and goers all day. Make sure you race the racetrack, keep your car in one piece, have something there for the end of the race.
That's a good message. And I'm assuming he will deliver it much more calmly to you tomorrow prior to the green flag, Joey. Of course, Coleman will be working the race with you. And look at this. Allgaier has gotten his spot back. They changed the battery. Great job by that team. It's a story we'll be following all day long. And let's get more stories from the pit lane now. We start things off with the guy that won the Southern 500 in 2011, Regan Smith. Hey, Regan.
Well, good afternoon, Adam. We mentioned Justin Allgaier's problems a little while ago. Another driver that's one of the front runners who had problems yesterday was A.J. Allmendinger. A problem with the right rear spring on that race car. They feel like they got that problem fixed yesterday after they found it. But keep an eye out today for A.J. A continued issue or not for that team. 10 top 10s to start the year. If he wants to continue that streak, today may be one of the toughest challenges so far because of the issues yesterday. Vince?
Well, Regan, pole starter Ty Gibbs is hoping that the Bobby Labonte throwback brings good fortune for him today. Labonte scored JGR's first ever Xfinity Series win back in '98 right here at Darlington. So what's it going to take today? First of all, don't beat yourself. A year ago, Gibbs had 2 speeding penalties, and it ended up costing them. They finished 18th with a car they felt was capable of winning. They feel they have that caliber of car again today. The big question is, what are they going to do with it? We're about to find out. Adam?
Thank you, Vince. There you see the guy that will start on the pole. The guy scheduled to start 3rd, Justin Allgaier, will have to drop to the rear. The green flag is next. Just about ready for the green flag. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series on a Saturday afternoon from Darlington Raceway. It's the Mahindra ROXOR 200. Here's our race analysis. Short race, really. 147 laps, only 200 miles. Stage breakdown, 45 laps, stage 1, stage 2. And once you make that pit stop at the end of stage 2, you're in your window to go the distance. So if it went green, you wouldn't have to pit in the final stage. But of course, we anticipate cautions. You need tires, and guys likely will be on the pit lane. So the 7 going to the rear, so is Ryan Truex. Here's Allgaier radio.
All right, well, Joe, I hope you wanted some action today, because it looks like we're going to have a little bit of it, but I think we're going to be in good shape here. Boys, sorry for the fireworks, but appreciate the effort there.
Well, he's got some cars to pass, doesn't he? It's going to keep it entertaining for us as he gets up through the field. You got to save your tires here, but you got to go. It's a short race, like you said.
He's back there with Truex. Tyler Reddick also coming from deep in the field, driving the 48 today. Green flag in the air. Ty Gibbs takes the outside lane. We're underway at Darlington.
Gets a great launch off the top side. Got a bunch of room behind him as you see that top side rolling through 1 and 2. That view is so great. You can see that top, keep that momentum as the top 3 cars came from the top lane.
I was kind of surprised of how the 8 couldn't get going on the start. We usually see the bottom lane restarts a little bit better than the top, and he might have just been caught off guard as the 9 battles for the lead. Noah
Gragson wasting no time taking a peek. And Joey, you and I doing the race last Saturday at Dover, 9 and 54, went toe-to-toe, multiple occasions in that race. I would anticipate more of the same today as they're both up front at the start.
This is one of those racetracks where you can get frustrated very easy. It's hard to pass, tires are falling off, your car's not handling the way you want it to. And all it takes is a little bit to send you over the edge. And this is one of those racetracks that can do that.
And to Joey's point of it only takes a little bit to send you over the edge, it also goes as far as, okay, you're driving along at Darlington, this place is really worn out, really hurts your tires, and you're kind of maybe sliding the car a little bit here on these restarts and initial start trying to race guys, but before you know it, you are struggling and your tires are gone and there's really no getting them back. So you want to race hard on these restarts, but you have to bear in mind, as we see the 7 moving through the field, of you have to be in it for the long haul too.
He's up to 30th, and he's bringing Ryan Truex with him in the 18.
Well, the first few cars are going to be pretty easy. You're going to feel like a hero. But as you get to the top 10, life's going to get a little bit harder for the 7. And he won't have as much tire left on it. He's needing to use a lot of tire right now as he moves through the field, running the bottom, being aggressive, trying to move through it. He's eventually going to pay the price on the long haul, but it's a short stage, right? 45 laps.
Here's the update on 7 radio.
As soon as I stopped, it lost all power in the battery, so I don't know if it shifted the battery or if it killed that battery that was in it or whatever, but I wasn't expecting it to be in gear, and it chugged pretty hard there.
Sounds like possibly as we see a replay here for the 7, seems something kind of close here. Look, that's a hell of a slide right there.
That's Kyle Weatherman with a nice little save in the 34.
What I was saying there, it sounds like he thinks maybe the battery has a loose connection. A lot of times they have a quick disconnect on these batteries, and if it's not in the battery box real tight, it can lose that connection. Maybe that was the issue they had in the first place. It wasn't a dead battery, it just wasn't connected correctly. Could possibly be it. Once it's running, hopefully it runs off the alternator and keeps on digging.
Here's a driver to watch. Second here a season ago. Josh Berry won last Saturday at Dover. And he's someone that prides himself in taking care of that vehicle and those tires over the long haul. As you guys have said, that's the end-all be-all here.
Yeah, for sure. And Josh, I think, does a great job of that. And I think it comes from running, late models for so many years at a place where you don't change tires throughout the whole 150 laps or so. And I think he's mastered that. He's done it for so long, and it's helping him out, especially when he comes to places like this.
This is where it gets tricky. You're down on the bottom. If you're Josh Berry, you're trying to creep it around there. You're faster than the 19, but you just can't come off the corner fast. Look at the momentum that Jones is able to carry down the front straightaway, and then he's going to try to pressure him again at 1 and 2 and try to put himself in position again. This is where it's really tricky to make passes here at Darlington.
It's funny you talk about the late model deal, and I ask him, because he has such limited experience here earlier this week, why are you good here? And he said exactly what you pointed out, Ryan. He said, it's all of my experience in late models where you win the race because you have to take care of those tires.
You see he's able to stay closer to him as he ran the high side, trying to take air off the rear spoiler of the 19. This is going to be fun through 1 and 2 this time. If he's going to be close enough to try to loosen up the 19 some more.
Oh, he's just going to sail it in there. 19 got a little bit of the wall right there. But maybe the 19 might have let him go. Was probably sick of him pressuring him.
Eventually, like, enough's enough, man. Just go. Got a long ways to go here. You'll wear your stuff out trying to play defense just as much as you wear your stuff out trying to go forward.
RCR teammates 10th and 11th, Hill and Creed. Here's 2 radio.
All right, Brandon, I hate to tell you this, but I think the motor's hurt. Please do not tell him that the motor's hurt, but we got to do whatever we can to baby it.
Huh.
There you go.
Sounded like crew chief talking to the spotter.
Oh, got one spinning here.
And it's the first caution of the afternoon.
Timmy Hill.
So the 13 brings it out. The spin happens at lap 9. And here, you know, we've completed 9 laps. You got a long way to go. You got 4 sets of tires in the pits, but this is where you start to think about some of the strategies and how you utilize your resources.
Yeah, as you see, Bailey Curry push a little bit off of turn 4 and just collected Timmy. Luckily not, I don't think any damage on that 13 car.
He's good. He's going to burn a set of tires here, though. That's going to be one of the biggest penalties that will probably hurt him. But he'll have a few laps on the whole field. He'll probably be able to drive through the field some. You know, this is a moment, you know, in the race. You know, you got a few laps on your tires. You may think you want to pit, but you don't want to use your tires up.
I think this is good for the 7 of Justin Allgaier. Pulls up a few positions, gets a caution to tighten up the field. It's throwback weekend here at Darlington. So we thought we'd take current drivers and who would their throwback mentor be? Allgaier, David Pearson. What do you think?
Smooth race car drivers. I agree with that.
Austin Hill and Benny Parsons. You know, you can see a little bit of that here as well. This one, there's no, obviously, Noah Gregson, Tim Richmond. I mean, there's no arguing that. They're like the same person.
Noah should have went with that mustache this weekend. You know, he could have went all in.
He could have.
Noah looks
He's got
good.
the hair, though.
He looks good here today, running second behind Ty Gibbs. Top 2 in the running order have combined for 5 wins in the first 10 races this year. Austin Hill also has a win, picked up the victory in the season opener at Daytona. And an update on Justin Allgaier from the rear after changing the battery, scored 20th right now, Coleman. And I would say so far the first 10 laps or so exactly where they need him to be. What are your observations?
Yeah, you know, he got a handful of spots here early on. Now he's going to get the opportunity to choose. Probably a great opportunity for him to gain a lot of rows here in the choose based on where he is. But talking about it, we've seen the top work really good on the last choose. Maybe Ty Gibbs takes it again. I expect the bottom to really prevail here on an old tire. They'll get the launch, hopefully stay side by side. I look for Noah Gregson to take opportunity at it through turn 1 and 2.
And Coleman brings up a good point about this, is the bottom, and you see Noah Gregson taking the bottom. The launch on the bottom is usually better, meaning that you're able to hook those rear tires up and accelerate better on the bottom lane here. But once you get to the corner in 1 and 2, that's when you're going to want to be on the top. But it's just how much have you lost before you get to that point. So it's a little bit of a cat and mouse back and forth there.
A couple of pit stops for Tyler Reddick under this caution. And we also saw the 2 of Sheldon Creed making pit stops. Vince, what's the latest there?
Very interesting. Creed missed a shift at the start, so they brought him in, lifted up the hood, changed the plug wires, but keep an eye on the 2. They may be having an issue that's going to affect the rest of their day.
It's been a tough start for the rookie at Richard Childress Racing, and I thought perhaps this would be their turnaround weekend. He's won twice here in the Camping World Truck Series and easily could have won here in all 3 of his starts. And this is disappointing to me for big machine racing, because I thought Tyler Reddick would really put them in position, and this early damage and the pit stops that have followed going to make it difficult. What's the latest there, Vince?
Had some damage on that 48 of Tyler Reddick, and it was creating a tire rub, so they're just trying to get that fender away from the tire.
Well, they're about to go green. They got to drop the jack and let him go. He's definitely going to lose a lap here as they come around the corner.
He's going to be close.
Pretty close to it.
Yeah.
He might stay on the lead lap.
But yeah, I think a big thing, like Coleman said, on old tires, I feel like the bottom is really an advantage. I'm kind of surprised that Ty Gibbs didn't take the bottom, but we really just have to see that. But like Joey said, it's all depending on your positioning. If I feel like that's a fairly equal launch, the 9 might actually be able to clear, especially with the push from the 16, clear the 54 into 1.
Yeah, and look at this 3 wide down into turn 1. The 21 down in the bottom. That always looks good and feels good for a minute until you get right at the center of 1. That's where that goes away.
Gregson with an assist from Allmendinger takes over the top spot. Gibbs led the first 14 laps. Now Gregson trying to take control of this thing. 39 is Sieg, 98 Riley Herbst, the 1 Sam Mayer.
And these guys, I mean, you talked about, they ran 11 green flag laps and some caution laps. That's a lot of laps at Darlington. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but boy, these tires give up so quick. And more every year we come here, they just fall off quicker and quicker. Total cheese grater on this racetrack.
Cheese grater, except for a little bit of turns 1 and 2, where they repaved the little new section. So everywhere is the lowest grip that you can possibly get, and now then you have new asphalt that you slide to. You see these, I mean, they're playing with throttle, but then once you get the new pavement, he's back to wide open. So it's a very odd thing. Your brain has to continue to switch up the grip levels of the track.
You almost got to time it, right? You're like sliding around like, I'm almost to the grip. Yeah, I got it. Hit the gas.
Yeah, it's interesting. When Gibbs got the lead to start, his advantage was like a second and a half before the caution came out. Gregson gets the lead on the restart, but Gibbs not going away, and here comes the 54 charging by. Gibbs back on point.
Yeah, that 54 is really fast. You saw him be able to put pressure on the 9 and then run the fence and then angle down off of turn 4 to get inside the 9. That to me shows he's a really good car to be up on the wall.
Oh, he's in the wall.
And he's in the wall. Don't be that up on the wall.
Too much wall there, but these cars can handle that. We talk about the composite bodies with these cars. You can handle little stuff here and there. Any harder than that, you don't want to do for sure.
Josh Berry flashing by to 3rd.
I think as the run goes on, the more and more green flag laps we get, Josh Berry's just going to get better and better. I feel like he's going to be really strong in the long run today.
27 to go, opening stage. Brandon Jones sliding back. So is Jeb Burton. He was running inside the top 12. Got that throwback scheme to his father, Ward. He won in that paint scheme, with that paint scheme at Rockingham many years ago.
So you may have a flat right front there. The nose definitely looked low on the right front.
He's able to, I thought he was going to get it to pit road, spins it out, and likely we'll see a caution here.
He's pretty slick on that apron. Nothing.
I got nothing for you on that one. I got nothing.
You guys know more about this than I do.
I looked around and hit crickets, man.
The caution is out for Jeb Burton.
Live from Darlington Raceway, we saw trouble early on for the defending race winner Justin Allgaier. Had some engine issues, potentially a battery issue, I should say, excuse me, potentially a loose wire, but things seem to be going well for that 7 car since. I will say it's been 34 races since Allgaier's seen victory lane, and he's hoping to end that winless streak today.
7 Eastern on Fox. USFL action continues as Todd Haley's Tampa Bay Bandits take on Skip Holtz and the Birmingham Stallions. Look forward to that tonight, 7 on Fox. And we're under caution for the second time here at Darlington. Let's see why. Problem for Jeb Burton.
Yeah, you see him right back here, and I think Jeb just got a little bit too close to the wall, and then he gets it in this area as well. You see the stripe. So that is what you call a Darlington stripe, and it turns out that it will cut your right front tire. So that's what he had going.
Now, when he came to pit road, he was trying to come to pit road. It spins out. We had a little sarcasm going to break there. NASCAR did not like the fact that he spun. They elected to hold him a lap for the spin and the nature of the way it occurred, and therefore he has put himself behind the 8 ball, not just getting into the wall, the tire issue, but now with the time spent on pit road. So he right now has scored 1 lap down. In 37th is Jeb Burton, and that's unfortunate because he was inside the top 12, as I said, at the time of the incident, and had a really good race car.
Well, that kind of goes to what Coleman was talking about before the race started. His knowledge from his dad, Robert Presley, said, "Don't beat yourself at this racetrack." This is one of those examples where you're running up against the wall, the tires have fallen off, you feel like you're going slow, but everyone else is anyways, and eventually you hit the wall and take yourself out.
Gibbs takes the outside lane again for the restart.
talk to me about the restart last time. Do you think we need to switch lanes, or did you need to do something different?
I think I need to do something different there. I just spun him a little bit too much.
So there's Ty taking the outside again after he just got beat on the last restart. We'll see what he adjusts. He still thinks that lane's going to be better.
Once again, Gregson down low, and he's got Allmendinger behind him. 22 laps to go, stage one.
Well, I think he's 0 for 2 on the top.
he might change his mind after this one.
And he's not just going to lose the lead here. He's going to fall back to third. Allmendinger jumps through to second behind Gregson.
Yeah, I was watching Allmendinger right before the caution. His car seems like it definitely fires off fairly quick. We haven't seen a long run here yet, though. We don't know who's going to be good after a few laps, but definitely the first lap or two, that 16 fires off quick as he sees pressure into 9.
You know what's interesting about Allmendinger, they had some problems back into that car, didn't get many laps in practice yesterday. Regan talked about this off the top. I mean, he was 28th, and it looked like they were going to put themselves in a very tough position to start this race. Qualifying rains out. The rule book puts him inside the top 10 to start, and here he is running in the top 3. And you see the numbers here. Top 10 every race this season. Regan, they have been the model of consistency.
Adam, they absolutely have, and we talk about yesterday what took place. It was not a pretty scene on that radio. They were scratching their head yesterday trying to figure things out. Today, much calmer. AJ giving very good feedback. Happier with that race car, just a little bit too on top of the racetrack right now compared to the guys that are in front of them, but always good to be up front and be able to compare to the front runners.
We talk about his numbers this year. You see what he's done at Darlington. 2 starts, both of them coming last year. And he led laps in both, but neither time was he able to finish inside the top 10. What's the latest on Justin Allgaier, Vince?
Well, remember, he had to start at the back because of that battery change. He's already up now, threatening the top 10. But he said something to me earlier today before the race that I found interesting. He said it's not just the tire wear here. He said, I think the cycles on the tire are going to be a big changer and a game changer, and that's going to impact the feel of the car just as much. I'd be curious Joey and Ryan's thoughts on the cycles and how that affects the tires.
Well, that's a solid point. And, you know, us in the Cup Series, we don't really have to deal with cycles that often. You know, you may run 1 or 2 laps, and if caution comes out at that point, you may not pit. But anything more than 3 to 4 laps, you're probably coming to pit road tomorrow. As long as we have enough tires left and there's not a bunch of cautions stacked on top of each other, you're probably going to put tires on. So that's something only in the Xfinity Series they really have to deal with, especially through these first 2 stages where they can't afford to burn a set up. They got to run this first set all the way through the first stage, and you know there's going to be cautions, there's going to be cycles, especially early in the race before a lot of cautions kind of eliminate a few cars.
Allgaier looking to get by Sieg for 8th. That's incredible. Last night, Camping World Truck Series racing here at Darlington. John Hunter Nemechek got the win. He's fast again today, driving that 26, Coleman.
Yeah, I've been watching John Hunter making a lot of great moves out there today. Looking at him in turns 1 and 2, he looks really free. Usually when you're free in that end, that means you are really good in turns 3 and 4. If you look at him get into the corner, get off the brake pedal and roll the center, he's rolling the center through 3 and 4 better than anyone. We'll see if that pays off as the race goes on, but it's interesting to see the difference in the 2 ends and how he's more beneficial on the turns 3 and 4 end.
Yeah, look how he's just carrying speed up against the wall there, letting his foot off the brake pedal, getting that initial throttle and keeping that rotation through there. This is usually where you pay a little bit of a penalty. If you're free down in 3 and 4, 1 and 2 here, you're usually hanging on all the way through here, burning that right rear up. But as you see, gets on that new asphalt, boom, it fires off and starts to get the momentum again.
Yeah, and you know, the corners are so different as he tries to go to the bottom.
Slide job?
That was pretty good. That thing's fast.
He's gonna cross him back.
I think he's in this
Outside 26.
lane he wants to be in, so that was a really nice move, I feel like, by John Hunter.
Yeah, at this point, you know, I don't think the 19's going to race him too hard through 1 and 2. He's going to have that top lane. He might lose another spot to the 7 as Justin Allgaier is climbing through the field all the way up to 7th after that pass.
Now, be honest, when he had to start at the rear, what did you think was realistic for the 7, especially with a couple of cautions here early?
Maybe they wanted to start at the rear on purpose to make it a better show. I don't know.
I don't know. That thing must be pretty fast. I mean, I would have thought maybe get stage points, possibly, as good as he is here. But, boy, he's going to get more than just a few stage points.
We've had like 20 green flag laps. That's unofficial. He's gone from the back to 7th. His teammate, Noah Gragson, leading at Darlington.
this field that know what it takes to win in this series at this racetrack. In fact, of the 38 cars, there are only 2 of them that have seen victory lane here. That is the defending race winner, Justin Allgaier, and the 2020 winner, Brandon Jones. Now, there was supposed to be one more defending race winner, one more track winner in the field, and that was Chase Elliott, who won here in 2014. But with qualifying being washed out, that car did not qualify for the race. So keep an eye on those 2 cars that do know what it takes to get it done here. That, again, is Justin Allgaier and Brandon Jones.
Always love throwback weekend. When it comes to Darlington, Jack Ingram, of course, one of the best all time in the Xfinity Series. Randy LaJoie, his son Corey, racing tomorrow, went back-to-back winning championships. Dale Earnhardt Jr. went in the Hall of Fame. He won the title 1998, 99. Was racing at Martinsville earlier this year, driving that 88 car. And one of his cars out front here today, Noah Gragson, leading. His JRM machines have been on a roll so far in 2022. And second behind Gragson is Gibbs. What's their story, Vince?
You know, it's interesting, and this is one of the big differences between crew chiefs and drivers. Crew chief Chris Gale told me before the race today, said, I almost wish we were starting 10th instead of first because I'd like to see Ty get the experience of moving up through the field. My guess is I've never heard a driver say he wishes he was running 10th instead of first. But Chris Gale looking at the big picture, hoping that Ty Gibbs will be the best at the end. And right now he's pretty good early on.
That's when you have a ridiculous amount of confidence in your race car. When you're like, you know what, let's start 10th because we're going to be so good we're going to drive through the field anyway.
Yeah. Joey, do you want to swap starting spots for tomorrow?
No, no, Blaney, no.
And that's only 5 positions, right? The pole to 6th.
Yeah.
Ryan Sieg, John Hunter Nemechek continue
Ryan Sieg
exchange positions.
Looks really good today. He's just past 26. He's got his eyes set on home. He's had a great year. I mean, overall, it's probably his best year that he's had as far as a whole season. And it's good to see a team like that really, starting to get some good runs together.
Absolutely. Made dash for cash.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this has been a good track for him,
Yes, this is one of those racetracks you can sometimes make up for a car that's not as fast other times. Let's hear what AJ has to say.
Where do we need to run there, Frank? He's searching here, bud. You can run them out of half lane lower, 3 and 4 would be good. Driving in straight, 2 straight and deeper, both ends now.
Sometimes you wonder, are they talking to the driver, or it might be on channel 2 and they're talking to each other, right? The spotter to the crew chief. A lot of times there's some information that goes, behind the scenes that their crew chief can't see anything. Remember, he's on pit road and on a pit box. He can't see anything. Mm-hmm. So they rely on the spotter and saying, hey, well, where's he running? What's he doing? Because the driver can't talk all the time. If the driver's talking the whole time, he ain't going to be focused on his job of going fast. So being able to have that information back and forth is nice.
Yeah. And we came back from the break showing all those 2-time champions. Add this guy to the list, Tyler Reddick. Won it in 18 and 19. 1 for JRM, 1 for RCR. They stay on the lead lap, got right side tires when they pitted at lap 13, and here he is back up to 16th. Quite a rally for that team.
He probably wishes he had the left side too, but remember, they didn't have enough time as they were coming to the green to put the left sides on it. So he's just grinding it out right here. Still one set down on tires compared to the field.
Hey, and Ryan Truex started in the back with Allgaier, and he's working his way up there in a great battle with a great 4-car battle right here.
3 to go in the stage. And it's interesting as these guys all race each other. Nemechek, who got his way up to 6th or 7th, starting to go the wrong direction now. Maybe took the good out of the tire, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a product of pushing too hard. We saw him go forward pretty good. You heard Coleman say that he thought he was pretty free. So probably just abused the right rear, as Landon Castle, that'll really abuse the right rear tire. But he's good. He's going forward. So might have saved a little bit, and it's just a little bit better than everybody else right now.
Well, this is the point of the run. There's just a few laps to go before you end the stage. Yeah, it's a little loose. You just go, though, right? I mean, like, the closer you get to this point of the run, you're hammered down, you're using it all. Whatever you got left, you're using it up. And the back end's just sliding around. It's the older the tires get, the more it's like a dirt race. There's just no grip at all.
I got to believe it's no fun for you guys conserving. So when you get inside of 5 laps to go in the stage and you know you can just let it all hang out, it's got to be sense of relief, right? 1 to go in the stage.
The only time it's fun conserving is knowing you'll be in a much better spot about 20 laps in the future, because you could not conserve and be aggressive and really be hating your life about 20 laps later.
The worst is when the caution comes out and you never get the reward.
Yeah.
You just
You're
conserve,
saving. Yeah, you get nothing.
What a year for Noah Gragson. He's got a couple of wins and coming back to the green and white checker flag. This is his 4th stage win of the year. Gibbs behind him, Barry's there, Allgaier, Riley, Herbst. Strong start to the day for Noah Gragson, leading 27 of 45 laps in the opening stage.
Race fans, it's Throwback Weekend, which is all about honoring those who paved the way in our sport. And that's why I'm honored right now to be here with 9-time Xfinity Series winner, Mr. Rick Mast. Rick, it's so good to see you.
Man, I'm so thrilled to be here, right? We got the baddest paint scheme out here on the racetrack, the old Skull deal. We had, that thing was 5 years. We ran that scheme for 5 years. And I think, well, the last year we changed the white out for green. But it's such an iconic deal. But I'm so appreciative of Junior Motorsports doing this, and honestly, their partner Accelerate for letting them do that, right? And the thing that gets me, or the thing that's so noticeable to me, is all the little intricate details that whoever with Junior Motorsports got to do that. Everything is just to a T. I mean, there's a lot of things about that paint scheme. If you look at it, little quirks and things that go on that you wouldn't notice, but they captured that thing to a T. And I'm just so honored they decided to do this.
Well, I spoke with Sam Mayer earlier today, and he said that he was honored to be able to represent you, and he was thrilled to drive that Skull paint scheme. What was going through your mind when you saw young Sam Mayer put your paint scheme back out on the racetrack?
You know what? It brought back memories. I mean, I'm sitting in the car all those years, right? So I don't see it, but being around that car so much and getting in it, it was like, you know what? This is my car. This is my race car. And now we're 20 or 30 years later. We got a young hot shoe like Sam running it, and you know, I'm not sure. It's just such a cool weekend. Whoever dreamed this up to do this at Darlington, they should be commended. There's so many cool paint schemes here, like the Richie Evans deal, man. I love the Richie Evans scheme, and of course, I love the Rick Mass scheme.
Well, and Rick, we want to say thank you for being here, because this is what Throwback Weekend is all about, having greats like you at the racetrack. So we appreciate your time.
Well, thank you very much, Jesse. Everybody have a good time.
That's Rick Mass, 9-time Xfinity Series winner. Enjoy Throwback Weekend, race fans. Wonderful.
And he's on pit road today. Vince there with him, and pit stops underway, Vince.
Well, the 7 of Justin Allgaier, remember, he started from the rear but drove up through the field and finished 4th, so they really like their car. No change is going to be made there. On the 54, wants it to turn better and needs a little more drive off, especially at turn 2, Regan.
The 16 of A.J. Allmendinger just a little bit too loose as he puts the power down, exiting corners. The 8 car of Josh Berry, a little tight in the middle with that race car right now, but overall he's pretty happy with that. And the 9 car of your leader Noah Gregson, fighting free all the way through the corner in 1 and 2. Tight in 3 and 4. They decided to work on turns 1 and 2.
Race off pit road, won by the 7 of Justin Allgaier, +3. They had some issues last week at Dover. Today they changed the battery, start at the rear, drives to 4th, wins the race off pit road, and now Allgaier is in charge of the track Too Tough to Tame. These are some of the famous announcers that we stole their wardrobe, actually.
Hey, that's pretty close.
Yeah, I was green plaid instead of red, white, and blue plaid.
Yeah.
But overall, that was a pretty good
Your shirt
payoff.
matches his jacket.
It's pretty close here, you know, and we didn't want to forget about you, Adam. We got a throwback for you,
I
too,
have no
and
idea.
a comparison to Chris Schenkel. If we're going to throw it up here. Look we feel like, Adam, this is you, a fellow person from Indiana. He's announced racing, the Olympics, football, baseball, basketball, golf, tennis, boxing, pro bowling. He's done it all just like you.
And did you know in 1971 at the Indy 500, Schenkel was in the pace car with Tony Holman and John Glenn, and the car was driven by a local auto dealer, and they crashed into the TV tower.
So it's just like
that reminded me of you.
And
just a little
no
less
injuries.
hair. Little
No
less
injuries.
hair for you, and you look just like him.
You know, Vince, I saw Vince in the garage earlier, and he said, Adam, I thought throwback for you would mean that you had hair. Unfortunately, we didn't throw it back far enough, I guess. I'm going clean
Next year.
up top. Yeah.
I'm catching
the
you.
aero package is right where it needs to be today.
Low drag.
For me, that's right. Getting ready for the restart to begin our second stage. Justin Allgaier takes the outside lane. I call Indianapolis home, Bippus, Indiana, for Chris. Okay, there you go.
Well, we're back green here again. The top side actually worked out for Justin Allgaier this time. That's something different because he has new tires on. He can launch better from the top. You see that he able to take the top side in 1 and 2 and continue the momentum like we talked about. Take control from last to first. Justin Allgaier. He made up a bunch of spots. Then his pit crew just gave him another 3. He's in good shape right now.
Easiest place to pass is?
Off turn 4 right now.
Oh, I was going pit road.
Oh, off pit road. Sorry. I was watching the race.
Yeah, Ryan, thanks for playing along.
You lose. Yeah, so we'll see. You know, obviously Justin's car had tons of speed, and he was able to hold on to his tires really well while passing cars. So I'm curious to see what Justin's car can do in the lead as we listen in on the 9.
Tires look great, man. 10-4, no cording on the front tires at all? Sir, they look really good. 10-4, I thought there would have been cording front. That's kind of how it felt.
It's interesting. It kind of tells me that Noah is fighting a tight condition, meaning the front end is not turning as good as he'd like it to be, as it has fallen off that way. So, you know, car that's building tight here, Blaney, doesn't sound that bad to me.
A lot less work than having to really fight loose and worry about smacking the wall every lap.
Nemechek, sticker tires, drives by Truex. Reddick is in the mix as well.
And A.J. Allmendinger is the one that made out the best. I was all checked up in the middle there. A.J. was able to free roll the top, gain a spot.
But you know, Allmendinger spent most of the opening stage in the top 5 and now fighting for 10th. So obviously not where they wanted to be on the pit exchange and then the restart that followed to begin stage 2.
I think they made a bigger adjustment on the pit stop there. I thought I saw him take a rubber out of the right rear, possibly. So that's a longer change, trying to get the balance right. May give up a little track position. As Noah Gragson coming back off the top, he just got past that way. He said, I'll try that too.
I'll do the same thing to you.
I love watching these two young superstars race each other, Gragson and Gibbs. So many things in common when you look at their stat line, and the bright futures that are ahead appear to be endless for both of these young guys.
You see sneaking in the picture Riley Herbst there in the 98. This is a great run for him, much needed.
You know, he's quietly performed this year, Riley has, as we ride along with our Mechanics Wear onboard camera. What do you see, Coleman?
Yeah, talking about Riley Herbst, let's talk about his spotter for a little bit, Tim Fedewa. He was a staple driver here in the series all through the 90s, has a lot of success. I have a feeling that the conversation he had with Riley this week was a lot like the one my dad had with me. Race the racetrack. Let's just be there at the end. Keep it out of the wall. And that's looks like what he's been doing here this first stage so far.
Yeah, Tim Fedewa was a great driver, but a tremendous spotter and a great asset for a young driver in Riley Herbst, who's now being pressured by the aid of Josh Berry.
Ooh, you see Josh Berry go really low getting into turn 1, just trying to clear some space, and it's so narrow, the racetrack is, and they did a great job racing side by side, but you'll see that a lot of the inside car, especially if they're trying to pass someone, kind of go, it's pretty much, that's the apron. It's way less banked, and then where Josh was pretty much flat, so they'll kind of go there just to get some getaway, and then he made it work.
I'll tell you what, the junior motorsports cars continue to impress. 4 of the top 5 last Saturday at Dover. Today at Darlington, 3 of the top 4 leading the way. Justin Allgaier. It's a throwback weekend.
fans, with this being throwback weekend, why not take the time to highlight one driver who has been incredibly successful here at Darlington during his career. He's since retired and is now a NASCAR Hall of Famer. That's Mr. Mark Martin, inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2017. His resume at Darlington is absolutely spectacular. In 29 Xfinity Series races, he earned 8 poles, 8 wins, 14 top 5 finishes, 18 top 10s, led 972 laps, all of which are track records.
Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch, what do you think?
I can see that a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Sam Mayer.
Are you comparing to the legends of the sport here?
Hey, when you've been around this long, Blaney, hey, he's got a good smile. The young kid out there.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I'll tell you, I like.
Gets a little feisty at times.
I love Sam Mayer's car. Well, Rick Mast car, that's a sharp-looking ride right there.
I actually thought we should have come out of the side-by-side, the headshots of you and Mayer, with side-by-side video of some things that have happened over the year at Martinsville.
Hey, he seems like a nice, happy-go-lucky kid until you tick him off. I get it. I've been there.
Am I going to be on the next throwback promo? And you have to be showing like a baby.
It's going to be you and your dad.
Yeah, me and my dad.
John Hunter Nemechek, 26. Darlington stripe. That was just a kiss.
No problem. No problem. See those junior motorsports cars right there. You see Josh Berry at 8 with Ty Gibbs in front of him. His junior cars just, you look at the last few races, it's been so fast. So strong. Here's a replay of a little, that was a good little smack right there.
That's pretty good, but a good smack.
Yeah. Bailey Curry, Kyle Weatherman.
Yeah.
Gosh, from that angle, didn't the wall kind of look wavy?
It did.
Didn't look smooth. No wonder why all of us hit it.
Well, it probably was smooth at one point, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of, at this point, we ruined it.
True.
But this is where you want to be close to. The closer you are to that wall, you see those cars right on it. It just forms a wedge of air right in between the wall and the car and creates a ton of side force and down force. Makes the car go faster. So the closer you get, the faster you go. The closer you get, the more likely you are to hit the wall.
And Tyler Reddick, I think, is one of the best at running the wall. He does a little high entry into one and was able to get really close to it, and most of the time don't hit it. But Justin Allgaier is obviously doing the best job of it right now.
I mean, I don't think he even needs to get close to the wall. Look at, he's running low through 1 and 2, staying out of that rubber, right through the middle of the track before he gets onto the new pavement. Noah Gragson kind of doing the same thing right behind him.
Allgaier's led 18 laps. Gregson out front for 30. And he's only 0.7 of a second behind. So as we hit the middle portion of stage number 2, he's where he needs to be to pounce, maybe late in the stage. Gregson did win that first stint of the race.
I like what Ty Gibbs is doing right there. He enters up high. And this is something we've seen Kyle Larson do quite a bit here as well, is they enter right up on the wall. They check up the center pretty big and crank it way all the way down to the white line on the exit, really straighten out the exit on old tires.
Something we've seen the top 4 be doing right here the last couple laps is they're all running a lane down in 1 and 2. All top 4 cars are doing that. And a lot of times you do that on old tires because you get, Joey said earlier, you get below the rubber. The rubber buildup here gets really slick as you run up against the wall. And guys will do that 1 and 2 because it's such a long corner that you can kind of run that middle and be able to hustle around the corner. And then that new patch actually kind of saves you since you're that low.
There's a lot of young drivers running up front. You got Gibbs up there. Just we're on board with Riley Herbst. Here's Nemechek. I like the flavor in the top 10. And there's a lot of drivers up there that have passed a bunch of cars today. We mentioned Allgaier. We showed Reddick, who started near the rear, then had the pit stop at lap 13 in the opening stage. He's come back from that after nearly losing a lap. Ryan Truex started deep in the field. At the back, he has worked his way to the top 10.
This is a really good battle that Barry and Ty Gibbs have going on here.
This is where you can get frustrated, right? You can burn your tires up too quick if you're either one of them. But you have 20 to go. You kind of got to use up a little bit to try to make something happen. But 20 laps, if you burn it up too soon right now, it's like a light switch when they go away. It's like, I'm okay. I just lost a half a second. And they just start mowing you down.
No getting it back either. Yep.
No, once they're gone, they're gone.
There's Allmendinger, 9th. This year in races, if you look at his average running position in race versus his average finishing position, he betters himself by 3 spots. An indication of how strong he finishes. That's why he's top 10 every week. And, you know, Sam Mayer has been on a run of top 5 finishes with the exception of what happened late at Talladega. He's worked his way to the top 10. And then there are some guys outside the top 10 struggling today. Our reigning champ is one of them, Regan.
Adam, that's right. A tough day right now for Daniel Hemrick. That race car extremely tight. It's actually been on the splitter for the majority of the start of this race. Struggling to get a grip on that. This is tough too. It follows up on Dover, where they looked like they were going to have a strong day at the end of that race, so that car faded fast. Crew Chief Alex Alex had a bit of a head scratcher last week, a bit of a head scratcher right now as well. Vince?
Well, and Tyler Reddick, 2-time series champion, running his first Xfinity Series race since last September here, but he had an issue early in the race, some contact. You see there on the right front, tape over the right front. They had a hole in it. They came a couple of times, got it repaired to their liking, and right now that 48 car is rolling. Reddick up inside the top 10.
Yeah, it's incredible what they've done, and I go back to that pit stop early that Vince is referring to. We were watching them from the booth and thinking maybe that he could lose a lap. He did not. Joe Graff Jr. 07, 23 Anthony Alfredo.
There's a pretty big transition down there. Oh, big hit here for the 31.
And that will be caution number 4. Myatt Snyder, heavy damage to the right front.
Applied.
He was running 19th. Racing with Tommy Joe Martins. Bailey Curry with some contact there in the 4. 15 laps to go in stage 2. Justin Allgaier leading Noah Gragson and Ty Gibbs. So Myatt Snyder had the spin, brings out the caution for the 4th time today. We're inside of 15 laps remaining in our second stage. And it's interesting the options you have in the corner here at Darlington.
Yeah, so this is going down in 3 and 4. This data is something that teams are able to have as well. You see the 9 run up by the wall. The 54 gets a little lower entry and then merge up a little bit to the center. And the 7 run in the bottom. And look where they all kind of merge up. But that momentum from the 9 will carry all the way down into turn 1, being the fastest, at least that lap.
Yeah, it's just fascinating, to see all that of the top 3 cars, 3 completely different lines. And honestly, they all pretty much ran about the same lap time right there. So it just shows you the different options at this great racetrack.
And you may look at that and say, well, why don't you just run the wall? Well, maybe his balance allows him to run the wall better than someone else. Or maybe for the 7, he wants to run the bottom because that's keeping his tires kind of managed in the right way for him, right? And maybe that's not the fastest at the moment, but maybe that's what's keeping his balance better. All those things kind of fall into the equation as a race car driver of how do I make long run speed? If you use the rear tires too long for over and over again and not wear the front tires, your car doesn't get looser and looser and looser and looser. You got to find a way to manage that. And a lot of times that's just using a different line here.
13 to go. Probably once we get everything reset, there'll be 10 to go in the stage. Do you pit here, or where's the breaking point for coming to pit road and getting some tires?
Well, I think it was already open and,
it was
closed
open.
again.
Okay.
So I would have thought if I was in the back and didn't have a chance of getting any stage points and wasn't running really well, maybe in the mid-20s, I would think throw a set of tires on for the heck of it and give it a shot.
I didn't realize that they had already opened. I looked down there and saw it was closed. I'm like, man.
I didn't either.
Yeah, so there you go. Now we're choosing. We'll restart with 11 to go.
This is where I think I take the bottom if I was a 7. And
what do you do if you're the 9?
Oh! Well, now I know what I'd do if I was a 9. That answered that.
Wow.
Oh, you think they're doing the old teammate okie dokie restart right there?
I don't know.
They could be.
I could see that happening.
The old okie dokie. I could see that happening here.
The old okie dokie teammate, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, I could. Maybe.
When we call the okie dokie, that is the kind of teammate restart we call it, where the leader will take the non-preferred lane in hopes that the other teammate has a good start and they end up being 1-2 at the end of it instead of being 1-3 or whatever it may be. So that's an interesting little play here.
NASCAR Xfinity fastest lap. Ty Gibbs, top of the chart there. Gregson Jones also turning good laps. Josh Berry, Ryan Sieg, although Sieg has fallen back to 15th now for this restart.
Blaney, I've seen the okie dokie go wrong a few times.
Yeah, I've seen it go wrong. I think I've been a part of it. It's gone wrong once or twice. It doesn't really work out. But, usually when you do the okie dokie, I love how we keep calling it the okie dokie.
And you turn yourself around.
And the other people and all the other drivers are like, I'm not going to let them do that. And they mess it all up. So we'll see if they, I'm going to say it one more time, if they do the okie dokie or not.
It kind of ticks off the rest of the field when you do that, for sure.
Gregson trying to sweep the stages here today.
Green, green, green. Nate's giving you a good push here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No okie dokie. Seven's still spinning tires.
Oh, boy, he about took a right into the wall right there.
Man, I don't understand why the leader keeps taking the top.
I mean, he got the lead, restarted that way once he got tires on it.
Yeah,
and maybe that's a product of starting in the back. He didn't get to see all that that we saw earlier, maybe.
Well, now we'll see how good the 7 really is, because coming to 10 to go in the stage. Teammate the 9 car was pretty close to the 7, but you never know how much either one of them are saving. So we'll see if the 7, if his car is as fast as it was the first run, to be able to run down the 9 and pass him for the stage win.
Well, 10 to go. He's got to go now at this point.
You know who really that hurt as well is Josh Berry, because I mean he backs out of it. Now you lose. I mean, there's just so much momentum and a chain reaction on these restarts.
And he was just stuck there, right? The 7 spinning his tires. He's got to run. He starts pushing him. If he pushes him any harder, he wrecks him. It's a tough spot. Here you see Reddick on the bottom. But Tyler's done a good job in that 48 car. Jumping in the car that you don't race very often, people you don't use very much, that don't know your way of communicating things, that's challenging to overcome all the time. And looks like there's a pass for second with Ty Gibbs taking over the 7 of Justin Allgaier.
Allgaier might not be as good here. We'll see what Vince has to say about the 7.
How about that 7, Vince?
You guys have talked a lot about the fact that Allgaier has run toward the bottom, and that is by design. He told me before the race, he said he really worked on it in practice as well. He said, if everybody runs the top, you can never pass up there. He said, I want to be good on the bottom and have the top as an option. I'd say it's worked out pretty well for Allgaier so far.
Well, it has been up to recently. Coleman, you got anything on the 48?
Yeah, let's look at Tyler Reddick. I tell you what, if he's behind me on the last lap, I'm waiting for the slide job in 3. He just pulled another one on Josh Berry. The last lap there, and now he's already pulled away 5 or 6 car lengths. That is his best spot on the racetrack. He sets up for that high entry in turn 1, uses a high radius off of turn 2, gets a massive run down the back straightaway. He also has a grip to get into turn 3 hard and slide up. So if he's second place on the last lap, watch out.
Tyler Reddick is one of those guys. He's very, very talented. He's very aggressive, and he is a slide job.
Oh, I thought he was going to do it again there.
If we stay on this another lap and he stays close to it, he may try to pull the slider here. And you saw in that replay, Josh Berry, he kind of, when someone slides you and pulls up in front of you, yeah, you're going to get hit. If you pull a slide job on me and you stop in front of me, it's game on at that point. And so I think it's, the way to pass here, though. I don't blame him for doing it. That's the way you have to do it, especially if your car is dominant on the top side.
Hey, some underdog teams that are running in the top 5. And we talk about Reddick, Big Machine Racing, their best finish all time. Jade Buford at Coda last month. And you look at what John Hunter Nemechek is doing for Sam Hunt Racing. He has been the guy that has delivered in that 26. Anytime they have had a good day, he's been the one driving it. And here we are again. Had a top 5 at Phoenix driving this 26 earlier in the year.
And John Hunter's been doing obviously a good job, but this is also one of his best racetracks, right? Winning the truck race last night. In general, he just runs good here all the time, no matter what he's in. This is a track that fits his style.
Ryan Truex battling Allmendinger for 7th. We got 7th, 8th, and 9th there, trying to work that bottom. Might look like going to lose a spot to Sam Mayer. That's the bad thing is you're trying to pass somebody. Let's say they're on the top of 3 and 4, like AJ was doing to Ryan, and you're like, I got to go to the bottom, and then the guy behind you gets you because you ran the non-preferred lane. So that, talk about frustrating things that can happen here. That's one of them.
By the way, Brandon Brown made an unscheduled pit stop in the 68. Tough break for him as we go inside of 5 laps to go, stage number 2. Sam Mayer making some gains, Regan.
Adam, keep an eye on Sam Mayer as this race plays out. Also, it's trouble with A.J. Allmendinger getting into the wall right in front of him. As he came here last year, hit the wall in the fall race on lap number 2, had no good experience. Team told me earlier today that laps for stages 1 and 2 would be the priority to get him in the car comfortable on the racetrack. That's working so far. He just came out and told the team this is the best that the car has been all day long.
Hey, and remember this, as they make gains, Taylor Moyer, the crew chief, not here. He was suspended 4 races when the wheel got away last week at Dover, and Andrew Overstreet calling the shots. And we've got a caution, and there it is for the 68 of Brandon Brown. It comes out with 2 laps to go in the stage, so this will end our second stage, and it's going to be Noah Gregson who gets the sweep today. 3rd time he's swept stages 1 and 2, but he's never swept the opening stages and gone on to get the victory.
the NASCAR Hall of Fame class of 2023. Has the longest career in NASCAR history, Herschel McGriff. 4-time champion crew chief, Kirk Shelmerdine. Our 2003 Cup Series champion, Matt Kenseth.
NASCAR Steve O'Donnell announcing the most recent class that will go into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Congratulations to that trio, so deserving.
So when I won the championship back in 2018, they let you sit in on the kind of the discussions. They let you sit on the board there for a minute and hear the conversations of so many people within the sport talking about why they believe somebody should be in the Hall of Fame or not be in the Hall of Fame is pretty entertaining to watch and listen to, and to be a part of for that year. That was special.
Perhaps some future Hall of Famers on track today. Stage 2 complete at Darlington for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. It is the Mahindra ROXOR 200. Pit road is open, and it's about to get really busy. Here they come, Vince.
Do indeed, and keep an eye on the 48 of Tyler Reddick. The car's been pretty free. They're going to end up putting some tape on the grill. Be the only adjustment on the 48 of Reddick, who pits from the 5th spot. And there's a good look at that 7 of Allgaier's. Been out front for a fair amount today, but he says it's just gotten too free everywhere, so they're going to snug him up a little bit. And then the 54 of Ty Gibbs, he led 18 laps early. It's a lot better after the adjustments of that last pit stop, Regan.
The 8-car Josh Berry right now is just too free getting back to the gas off of turn 2. Can't get the power down quite like he wants to. And the 9 of Noah Gragson free climbing the hill all the way around the racetrack in turns 1 as well as turns 2. Too loose with that race car.
I know last week pit road was a bugaboo for the 17. May have cost him a win at Dover. At Darlington, they have been on it. +2 for Allgaier. He wins the race off pit road, and he'll be in charge when we come back for the final stage.
And that 35 of Emerling Gase Racing is throwing it back to the NASCAR Hall of Famer and 9-time modified champion Richie Evans. But get this, the sponsor on the car is the exact same sponsor that Richie worked with. And here today representing BR Do It, this is Jeff Haas. Jeff, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you very much. A couple weeks ago, Pat called me and he said, with this throwback theme at Darlington, he goes, "Do you think we ought to do Richie?" You know, and Pat's a modified driver, you know, with the wheeling tour and stuff. And I go, absolutely, let me make a couple phone calls. So I called Jamie and Byron DeWitt. I started actually at Bear DeWitt in 1990. So I've been there a long time. They since sold the company, but it was so excited, you know, to get, you know, that message. Absolutely. So we, you know, stuck with the BR DeWitt theme, the Jeans Machine, which was Gene DeWitt. And, you know, and Gene just did so much for the racing from, you know, not just in the Northeast, but all over the East Coast and stuff like that. So we're really excited to be able to do this. It's fun.
Well, and you mentioned with the modified affiliation as well, Patrick being an established modified driver himself. What do you think Richie would say, getting to see someone like Patrick Immerling give a tribute to him this weekend?
Oh, Richie would be thrilled. I actually talked to Richie's crew chief, Billy, and Billy, he wishes, you know, that Richie's wife, Lynn, and Billy could have made it. But with such a short notice, you know, everyone's busy today, you know, with the world open back up, you know, which is great. The feedback we're getting, and they're going, Jeff, hey, this is so cool. And, you know, and I definitely want to thank the DeWitt family for allowing us to do this.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much for the time. It was so great meeting you today.
Thank you.
What a testament, not only to Throwback Weekend, but to the relationship that NASCAR teams have with their sponsors.
And now we get to our eBay pit performance. sponsored by eBay Motors. And here you see it. Justin Allgaier delivering on the pit lane. Outstanding job there. And now we get to Vince Welch.
Thanks a lot, Adam. With Scott Borchetta, team owner for Big Machine Racing, got Tyler Reddick in the car. What an opportunity it is. What do you hope to learn with Tyler in the machine today?
You know, having a great shoe like Tyler Reddick in the car is really everything that we've been trying to figure out. We haven't had a great start to the season, and already the feedback that he's giving us and how the car is operating, and you know, it's everything that Richard Childress and I talked about. We know our cars are good, and we've got to make sure that we can back it up on the track.
Thanks, Scott. Adam?
Yeah, I mean, they've been so strong today through adverse times and going to restart inside the top 10, a chance for their best ever finish and only their 44th start as a team.
It's hard to put together a race team these days. You think about just trying to start a race team, all the moving parts and pieces, getting cars that are good and competitive against teams that have been doing this for so long. It's so hard to do that.
Going to be 53 laps to go as we begin our final stage. All JRM front row. Allgaier outside of his teammate Noah Gragson.
So new tires, you see the top side hang in there better, but I tell you what, the 9's going to shortcut it. Nope, not quite.
You almost have to be, you have to have the outside car on your right rear quarter panel, I think, to make the bottom work into one. You kind of shortcut it and slide up in front of him, but Noah was really close to being able to do it, but Justin prevailed.
Remember the last restart, Ty Gibbs able to get to the outside of the 9. You see him up there already.
Sam Mayer coming to life looking at the inside of Josh Berry.
I mean,
they've gotten that car better and better all day.
They have, and such an incredible day for Junior Motorsports as a group. I mean, we've said it, but this team is just performing at such a high level. They've swept the stages now in 3 consecutive races.
Wow.
It's frustrating being in the way. You have every right to be frustrated, man. Just as frustrated as you. As a company, as an area, we're as bad as we've ever been. So it'll be about 3 months. Hopefully we can take it a turn around. Just stay with us here. Copy, brother.
That's interesting. It's the second time we heard that in a row. It's that, hey, we have a fix coming. It's just a long ways down the road before they got it. I don't know exactly what that means, but it doesn't make you feel good as a driver either. But I mean, that's around playoff time, so it'd be the right time for it. But interesting they talk about that so much and what that'll end up being. But AJ's just one of those drivers that we talk about his consistency. He's done this long enough. He knows how to take a 15th place car, a 10th place car, and finish 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere with it, and get more than what's there just by being smart and taking what's there to give him. Don't take yourself out of it. I say that as he hit the wall a few laps before the end of the second stage, but typically he's one of those guys that can keep his head in it and get something out of it, and that's why you see him up there in points too.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he's been leading the points. You know, we saw he hasn't had a finish outside the top 10 all year, but the Kaulig cars haven't been as strong as the past. You know, like last year, year before. I think they've lacked a little bit of speed. Obviously, AJ's been really consistent and been able to make up for it, but it seems like they've lost a little bit of pace with everybody else, but it seems like they hopefully 3 months down the road have an idea to fix it.
Well, put it in perspective, his teammates are 17th, Landon Castle there, and then Daniel Hemrick back in 30th. So it's been a tough afternoon for the team cars. Justin Allgaier continues to lead.
Darlington Raceway. 3 of the 4 Junior Motorsports drivers currently running in the top 5. I spoke with each driver before the race, and all of them seemed confident, but the most confident of them was the number 8 of Josh Berry. To no surprise, Josh comes from a late model background with Junior Motorsports. He's a champion in the Cars Tour. He told me that he feels like this racetrack here at Darlington, and specifically the way that it races on tires, plays to his strengths. Tire management and his late model experience is something a good shot to be in victory lane once again this week.
Just wanted to wish all the moms out there a very happy Mother's Day today, and I also wanted to wish my mom a happy Mother's Day. Hope you have a great day. I want to wish a happy Mother's Day to my mother, all the beautiful mothers out there.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, especially my mom and my wife, Ashley. Couldn't have better role models.
And we wish all the mothers happy Mother's Day. We'll celebrate with you tomorrow as we do a 400-miler right here at Darlington for NASCAR's Cup Series on FS1. So Justin Allgaier is leading. A lot of moms here this weekend. Justin Allgaier leading. But Noah Gragson is hanging around. And I've been so impressed, continue to be impressed with what we're seeing out of John Hunter Nemechek. You saw this when we were side by side. But the best Toyota today from Sam Hunt Racing.
Yeah, that's good to see from a smaller team like Sam Hunt Racing. Obviously, John Hunter does a good job on the race last night, and that's great to see for that team. You know, pretty new team, and it's awesome to see him running up front. And gosh, being the top running Toyota is huge.
And while that was happening, back behind them, Sam Mayer won, 48. Tyler Reddick.
Oh, that's Tyler trying to pull a slide job right there. Still like the move. And Sam Mayer said, nah, I don't think so, buddy, and kept his nose out there. Now, that's a recipe for disaster when you get all that going the wrong way, because if Tyler overcommitted and had to come up the racetrack and Sam didn't give him any room, they both would have ended up in the wall. So it's got to be a little give and take when a slide job like that happens. And, you know, Tyler did a smart job at trying to honestly scare him into giving him the spot. And Sam said, I ain't scared, bro.
Hey, how much of making that move as a two-time champion, you know, trying to take advantage of an 18-year-old, right? I mean, you got to know who you're racing against, don't you?
Absolutely.
And since that time, he passed him, and now Reddick trying to get to fifth, taking advantage of another teenager.
Yeah, I mean, Reddick beating up on these kids. I just don't understand it. But no, Reddick's going forward. You see him kind of getting the high entry into one, which we see him do a lot. Larson does it a ton. Denny Hamlin. And I think it saves tires, and it just carries momentum. And now he's got some clean track. I think he's going to be able to make some ground. Coleman.
Hey, we've talked about tire saving all afternoon. You see the 9-car of Noah Gragson really starting to push Justin Allgaier. We know Justin Allgaier is the leader. He's trying to manage his gap. I'm looking back at 3rd, 4th, 5th place, the 26th, the 8th, then Tyler Reddick. These guys are really good at saving tires. Josh Berry, arguably one of the best in the sport. I want to talk to the drivers. If you're in this spot, you're playing this cat and mouse game, at what point are you going to go start chasing the cheese?
Chasing the cheese. I think at this point you got to let it kind of come to you. You got 38 laps to go. It's a long time here. You run too hard right now, you're going to pay the penalty. You see that with Ty Gibbs right now, where the back end of his car is sliding around. He's falling backwards. You know, if you just kind of run your pace, manage your tires, keep your balance as close as it can by using your tires in the correct way, eventually they're going to come back to you.
Riley Herbst and Ryan Sieg in a 39.
Yeah, 39's pretty loose. Driving up to the wall. 98. I think the 39 was already pretty loose before the 98 got there.
Yeah, he was going to hit the wall either way.
Allgaier out front, but not pulling away, Vince.
Well, he has led the most laps, and his teammate there, 9, Noah Gragson, has led the second most laps. You know, it's interesting. Gragson won this race last year. Gragson won in the fall. But Allgaier told me that even though they won in the spring, they weren't stoked about their car. They felt like they were really fortunate to win. And when they came back in the fall, Gragson was so much better than them. So they came here today with a setup very similar to Noah Gregson's. It's interesting that the two are running 1-2, and Allgaier is out front with Gregson's setup. Regan?
Well, Vince Noah Gragson running in second, as you mentioned just then. He and crew chief Luke Lambert been on the same page all season long, making very good adjustments with that race car. Today, so far, too loose as he drives up to the wall. Made adjustments on the last pit stop. Take a listen to what Noah Gragson had to say right after that restart.
There it is, baby. Things good now.
It feels nice when you get something that you ask for, you know, as a driver, and you say something about your car, and it's really hard to fix it during the race a lot of times. And when you feel a little change, like, oh, that was the right thing at the right spots of the corner, it just, boom, comes to life. And, you know, he's been hanging with the 7 here. I'd say down here in 3 and 4, he might be even a little better than the 7.
What about the psychology of a driver who's trying to end a drought? Justin Allgaier has not, you know, won in 34 races. And since that time, Gragson has won 5 times. You got to think about those things, I would guess. We'll discuss that when we continue from Darlington. Coming up, following NASCAR on FS1, Major League Baseball starting things next with the Tigers and Astros. Then tonight, 7 Eastern, part 2 of our doubleheader, Cards and Giants. It's all on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Justin Allgaier continues to lead, and that's Alex Labbe who's gotten into the wall.
I don't think that's going to stay on there for long.
And there's the caution. 27 laps remaining.
Money time on pit road.
Yep.
Boys and girls, this is what it's all about.
Everyone has 2 sets of tires left, or most everyone has 2 sets of tires left. And you anticipate cautions in the final stage, and now we'll get a chance to use them. And here's the reason we're under caution.
Ooh, that slide job gone bad.
Yep.
That's kind of what we talked about. You don't get far enough ahead, and the outside guy doesn't give it to you. You're both in the wall.
Well, you know, Alex is from Canada. They get a lot of snow up there. It looked like he was driving on a snowy road, you know, sliding around out there.
I feel like he'd be pretty good here.
For that reason, right?
Oh, yeah, for that reason.
Actually not bad, inside the top 20.
Yeah, it was running pretty good. So I think everyone has 2 sets left except for the 48.
Right.
I think he's down to his last set.
Yep.
So he is going to pray that it just goes green here. After
he's got to pit.
Yeah, you have to pit. You have to use your last set. We got 26 laps to go. I mean, hopefully they don't run 10 laps and a caution comes out, because then he'll be in big trouble.
It would be interesting, though, if that happened, because there's still 31 guys on the lead lap. So even if they pit here and we get another caution in 10 to 15 laps, how many come and don't? Because it's so hard to get the good out of them when you have that much traffic to get through.
Well, this is what it's all about right here. The pressure's on the pit crews right now. The 7 had good pit stops so far this week. They lost the race because of pit road last week. We'll see.
And it's the 7 leading them down. Here they are, Vince.
Well, Justin Allgaier, as you guys have noted, it's been a long time since he's won. He'd like nothing better than to get that win today and add to his 16-win total. And they have been out front, and when that car is out front, it is good. Look for no significant adjustments here on the 7, just 4 tires and gas. The 26 of Nemechek just needs a little more turn. They're going to make a small air pressure adjustment. Put some tape on it as well, Regan.
The 8-car Josh Berry right now pretty good with that race car. Just a little bit to the tight side when he's in dirty air. Small adjustments for him. And the 9 Noah Gragson said, I am close. Unless you think the track's going to change, just get me out front. If you don't, I think I can get him anyways.
Might have been a slight bobble for Justin Allgaier, but they hold serve, and he wins the race off pit road. And his teammate, Noah Gragson, going the wrong direction. He loses 4. Berry off 2nd. Sam Mayer was good. A mixed bag when it comes to the stops for Junior Motorsports.
Final laps of stage 3 ticking down, and Justin Allgaier is in control of the field. I spoke with the defending race winner earlier today about his confidence, and he said despite the fact that he has not seen victory lane in 35 races, his confidence is okay, and that's because of a mentality shift. He said he started focusing on his season differently, week by week, instead of tracks that he feels play to his strength. Interestingly enough, though, when it comes to challenges, each of the Junior Motorsports drivers I talked to brought up the fact that every week they're having to compete with their teammates, which is good news because of the success of the overall team. But however, it's always tricky when it gets down to those final laps and only one of them can be in victory lane. Interesting thing to keep in mind as you see Justin Allgaier line up here for this restart next to his teammate Josh Berry.
We got one last throwback comparison. Ryan Sieg, Dave Marcus. I think that's a real good one.
If he gets the shoes right, the wingtips.
Got to have the wingtips.
Got to.
I've not seen that on Ryan, actually.
I can see Josh Berry, Bobby Labonte. I think that's really good.
And this one's good because of the long winless streak to begin your career and the significance of your first win. Michael, of course, in the Daytona 500. Hemrick at Phoenix last year when he won the championship.
Yeah.
And Hemrick's come back a little bit. He was 30th, for a while, and now finds himself inside the top 20, running 18th. Sieg, top 10, good portion of the race, stage 1, stage 2, but they've fallen back now outside the top 15.
There you see they already chose. You see the 7 taking the top side as the leader with new tires. I think that's probably a pretty good move. After that, I feel like, Blaney, I don't know, but I think you just kind of take the shortest lane, especially on new tires.
Yeah, I think so. I think so also. You saw the one, he's up behind Allgaier. They've gotten that car a lot better today, so be curious to see if Sam Mayer has anything. The one who lost big was Gregson. Obviously, he has to restart 5th.
First time he's not been on the front row for a restart in a long time, talking about Gregson.
Green.
Whoa.
Big jump there from that inside lane and Josh Berry.
Hey, take a look at that.
The 8 might be in trouble. Yeah.
And a restart violation for Josh Berry. Too early a jump from that inside lane. He was not the control car. Saw Ty Gibbs falling back there. Gregson with a little rally in the outside lane.
26, baby. He had a huge run off of turn 4.
Check up a little bit.
Yeah, you mentioned 26. Gregson right there with him. And Gregson was crossing him over into turn 1. Here's the replay of the restart.
Yeah, that's pretty clear what happened. The 8 laid back and tried to time the restart and just out-launched him. You see him pulling to the bottom here. You got 3 laps to serve your penalty. And he's going to have to, I think it's a drive-through, Blaney?
I think it's a drive-through. Yeah, I mean, on the restart, the 7 controls the start. So you see that the blue Geico restart zone. The 7 can go anytime in that zone. And you saw the 8 kind of laying back and trying to kind of roll to the 7 to time it with him. And the 8 just went, and the 7 chose not to go. And that's what got the 8 car in trouble, unfortunately.
You never want this to happen, but right now, 20 to go, you're running top 2, and you got to do this. This has got to hurt big time.
Yeah, it's game over as the leaders are coming off of turn 4 right now. He's at the end of pit road. I think he'll stay on the lead lap, but definitely taking his chance of winning pretty much out of the question at this point.
He wants a caution right now. I mean, to salvage something out of it, right?
Yeah, he still might not stay on the lead lap.
Hey,
momentum off the top.
Let's focus on the lead.
I mean,
Allgaier is leading, but man, Nemechek just incredible today.
The only thing I could see, the 7's been fantastic all day, but he has not left the bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4. And it's been working for him. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not working for him, a strong thing to do. But I could see him maybe that getting him in trouble of not being able to search around, but he's made it work great and been able to keep the lead. But it's something I've been thinking about.
There's times you can just get overcommitted to something, right? It's, oh, this is working. I'm going to keep doing it. It's working for me. It's working for me. While everybody else is working on their car and making it better, you lay up a little bit. Because my car's driving pretty good. It's the fastest one out here. I don't have to worry about it. All of a sudden, everybody's faster than you.
And you see him slip there. He missed the bottom and was right in the middle. And it allowed 26 to get a really good run on him.
Nemechek, as we said earlier, a winner last night in the Camping World Truck Series race here at Darlington. Could he sweep the first 2 days of throwback weekend?
Either way, tremendous day for that racing, being in contention with 17 laps to go. I mean, you've done everything right up to this point. You've had fast cars. You see, look at the 7s moving up now down there. But back to the 26. You've had a fast car. You've done the right things, a good strategy, good pit stops, good restarts. They've executed to put themselves on the spot with 15 to go. That's what it's about.
And if they just stay right there, it would be the best run all time for Sam Hunt Racing. But you know when you're this close, you want to cash in. Heck of a day for him, Vince.
Well, and Adam, I think you made a great point. Not only is it a great run for Nemechek, former Cup driver's gone down to the Truck Series to, as he says, win some trophies and eventually get back up to Cup. But what a performance for this organization, Sam Hunt Racing, a relatively new organization trying to make their name as well, and they're using a guy like John Hunter Nemechek to do just that. Coleman Presley.
Yeah, we're talking about the 26. He's got a big enough gap to the 9 now, and he's getting off turn 2 good enough. Well, we can see a slide job happening here in the next lap or two. He's coming off turn 2, like we were talking Tyler Reddick earlier, hauling the mail down the back straightaway. We know Justin Allgaier hasn't been at the top in turns 3 and 4. If he still has that gap here in the next couple laps, look for a slide job going into turn 3.
Yeah, what I see different here, the 7's entering really low into turn 1 and able to build a little bit of a gap, but by the time it gets to the exit, the 26 gets a big run down the backstretch and able to close up a lot of the gap that he's built. And you see the 7, really no choice at this point to move. You have to move up the racetrack, go to where you're not comfortable, go to where your car might not be handling well, because you've got to put dirty air on John Hunter Nemechek right now to try to stay in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, Allgaier, he has been challenged like this, really, for the lead, having the 26 and then 2 guys behind him kind of breathing down his neck. So he's having to change stuff up. Like you said, he's got out of his comfort zone of being able to control his own pace. He has to be really pushing the issue now. Like you said, it's gotten him to move up the racetrack, which they seem to be able to make a little bit of distance from the 26.
And you see that he ran up there for a couple laps, built a little distance back to his comfort area down at the bottom. Yeah, it's going to be a hard-fought battle to the end here. It's not going to be a comfortable finish for Justin Allgaier for sure. And those guys are running hard. And right now, all he's hoping is that John Hunter may have burnt his stuff up right there by running so hard, trying to take the lead and taking advantage of being so close at that moment.
Here's a cool story when you talk about the 26. The 1111 Veteran Project is on the car as a sponsor. This is a company that was founded by Colin Garrett, who was the first ever driver for Sam Hunt Racing. And we have a caution. Joe Graff Jr. brings it out. It's our 7th yellow of the day.
Bring it down low here. Bring it down low if you can.
Now you got to pit. I think.
I'm looking, though, 32 cars on the lead lap. Contact from 23 there.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think it just gets so narrow off of 2, and 07 was loose to 23 stayed on the left rear quarter panel, and unfortunately ended up with Graff in the inside wall.
Give him much of a chance to save it there, did he?
Well, I didn't really get off of him.
Free pass here goes to Josh Berry, who did lose a lap when he made that pass-through penalty earlier from that restart violation. You know, that they're going to pit, right? Take tires.
Yep.
I don't know what everybody else does.
I think it's going to be a mixed bag, you know, because by the time we go back racing, the 07 is getting the tow truck hooked up to him right now, so that's going to be a couple laps. By the time they open pit road and then close pit road and send the waves, I mean, it's only going to be like 7 laps to go.
Yeah.
So I could see a split field, you know.
It's tough. If you're the leader on this one, that's where it gets really, really challenging, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, you want to be the lead of either one you do, but the worst thing that can happen right now is if 3 cars stay out with you and right behind you they have fresh tires. 15 laps is a lot of laps here. Gosh, I think you got to pit.
I think you do pit, and I think you drag enough people down. The pace has slowed down so much this run already. I think it's something you have to do. I know some guy who's probably going to stay out is Tyler Reddick.
He doesn't have an option.
Because he doesn't have any option.
And he's hoping everyone stays out with him.
Yeah.
He may have a few takers, but I think, boy, I just think you got to come down and put tires on here.
There's so many layers to this. Number one, do you pit or do you stay out? Number two, if you do pit, executing on pit road, which we've seen today, has cost some guys. And then the other aspect is, after you execute your plan of strategy, how do you handle the restart based on what kind of tires you're on and what lane selection and all those things?
You better make sure your car fires off quick after this one.
You guys called it. You said, give me tires, and here they come. Big pit stops here, Vince.
This is where the pit crew earns its money right here. You cannot afford a mistake. Justin Allgaier and that 7 bringing them down from the front just a little out of the track. So they're going to go a half round down on the track bar. The 26 of Nemechek has been bad fast. Can he sweep his 2 races after winning the truck race last night? Regan?
The 1 car, Sam Mayer, just a little bit too free still with that race car right now. Said, I don't think we can adjust on it, though, because of the short run. And the 9 car, Noah Gregson, said, pump up the tires just a little bit. Maybe tighten me up just a little. That's all I need. Let's have a good stop.
A handful of drivers did stay out. No surprise among them, Tyler Reddick. Here comes the race off pit road. The best on tires for the restart will be Justin Allgaier. Gregson +1. Good stop for him. And John Hunter Nemechek lost a couple of positions in that exchange.
Oh, 1 out there.
Let's watch this now from the perspective of Riley Herbst.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight pit road. You know, it's probably one of the tighter pit roads that we have, and it doesn't really get talked about a lot. But yeah, I mean that's a situation where his spotter or crew chief has got to say there's going to be 1 car outside of you.
Tyler Reddick stays out, and he'll be the race leader.
All we need is 1 raindrop and 1 lightning strike.
Nah, we'll take 1 restart. We'll be just fine. We'll win this thing straight up.
He seems confident.
And he's got a great shot at winning this thing straight up.
Got a decent buffer.
I think he's got, what, 8 or 9 cars, I think, stayed out. And he's got a pretty fast car. Here comes the choose, the 1 to go. And this will be, it'll be 7 to go when they take the green. So those guys with tires, you know, the first one's back there, Justin Allgaier, back in the 10th spot. So he's going to have to go here. Coleman, what do you say here?
Yeah, we see Justin Allgaier go to the bottom lane here. Best thing's going to be for him is that 6 car. It's going to wash up the track. Old tires, he's going up. Expect that 7 to be all 4 on the apron. He just hopes it sticks, and maybe he can come off turn 2 around P6. That's going to be his opportunity to win the race. But I look for that 7 to be on the apron.
I like the bottom lane here if you are the 7, the 9 on new tires, because you know, there's 15 laps on these tires for everybody who stayed out. And I think the outside lane is going to struggle pretty bad. So I feel like the bottom is going to roll, and especially because Reddick is the controller of the restart. So that's going to help the 7 and the 9 out even more, I think.
And you see, we've got the pointers in on these drivers that have the fresh tires. And the other thing, we're going to get a restart with 7 to go. I wouldn't rule out that we have another caution, right? And that would change everything as well.
Well, it's a recipe disaster when there's cars that have new tires and some with old tires, that speed difference, and the patience are gone. You cannot be patient with 7 laps to go. You got to be aggressive. I like what Coleman said about the bottom lane. And I think if you're Justin Allgaier, you better be 3 wide on the bottom through the center of 1 and 2, get as many spots as you can, because if Tyler Reddick gets out there 5 car lengths, it might be too much.
Front row, Tyler Reddick, A.J. Allmendinger, old tires. And these drivers have plenty of experience. Here we go, 7 remaining at Darlington.
See Allgaier go 3 wide immediately, and he's going to make it work. I mean, he's going to be 5th. But
outside lane, A.J. Allmendinger gets the race lead.
Wow, who'd have seen the top side, A.J. Allmendinger taking the lead right there. Complaining about his car the whole race, he takes the lead with coming to 6 to go.
Jeremy Clements is 3rd, Allgaier to 4th. How about Earnhardt throwbacks inside the top 5? That is awesome.
Racing side by side.
Throwback weekend.
How do you spot that one? They look the same.
Allgaier is through. He's bringing Noah Gregson with him. Allmendinger with the race lead, 6 laps remaining.
I think the race is going to be between Allgaier. As we see Tyler Reddick in the wall, looks like he's got a flat tire.
He's in it hard.
We said there could be another caution. No yellow yet.
Caution's out.
And there it is.
Now AJ's in trouble.
Yeah, AJ had a small chance before the caution, but now
all the guys, most of the cars that have tires went through the buffer, right? The buffer of cars that stayed out. At this point, there's no buffer left. Let's see what happened to Tyler Reddick as he went down into turn 1 and 2. See, it looks like he caught the fence there and maybe at that point, the right front. You see it where the sparks happen there. So he skinned the wall, and then it cut right front down from there. And unfortunately, it takes the best finish for that 48 team that they would ever had right here. Unfortunately, it's gone.
Tyler's going to be back in that car in a couple of weeks at Texas Motor Speedway. So a nice foundation for the future laid today for big machine racing, even though they're not going to get the finish they would have liked. Noah Gregson's been so good today, leading 45 laps. He's third right now.
I don't think we got any choice but be behind whatever lane Justin takes right here because it's tires.
That's a great point. I mean,
yeah, that's all you got, bud. I wouldn't want to pick the car that has old tires and be lined up behind that one.
Yeah, and I tell you, AJ did an awesome job on that restart.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Coleman called it. You know, 3 wide, going to the apron, trying to get a row. You know, entering one, and he did a good job of getting a good jump.
I just cannot see anything but those 2 Earnhardt paint schemes. That just was so awesome.
You know, and I thought it was going to be, you know, close for the 7 to be able to maybe get to AJ Allmendinger. Is going to be like one of those last lap pass things, and then once Tyler hit the wall and he got the 2nd, I was pretty certain at that point Allgaier was going to get there. Now restarting on the front row, he's definitely in the catbird seat to win this thing.
The 9's been able to match his speed, you know, all day. I feel like it's going to be between those 2 guys, and here we see Justin Allgaier getting the win here last year.
He did so, beating his teammate, and he'll likely be racing his teammate Noah Gragson again today. Last year it was Josh Berry. That's his last victory, 34 races ago. And since that time, 5 runner-ups. I mean, here are the numbers. Half of the start since his win, he's finished in the top 5. And he's led more laps than anyone since he got that checkered flag here 1 season ago.
It's been the story of what can happen next. And I think in this point, it's looking good for him. But you just never know. You can never call the end of these races. And you know, just a few laps ago before that caution came out, when everyone pitted again, he was looking good to win the race. Then the caution comes out and you're like, oh, what can happen? Now he's in position again, possibly.
And think about if he is able to win today, what adversities they will have overcome. You know, the car needs a battery before we even get going. So they come down, they change the battery. He starts in the rear, made it to the top 5 by the end of stage 1, and now has put himself in position to win. As we get the choose, Allmendinger goes inside.
Well, there's a lot of cars taking the top there. I think that's kind of interesting.
That's what we expected, right, as far as Allgaier and Gragson on those tires, staying together in the outside lane. Here we are, Coleman, going to be 2 to go. This will not be overtime. This is just going to be to finish it in regulation once we go green, Coleman.
Yeah, you know, Ryan and Joey, they said it's going to come down between the 7 and 9. They've been tick for tat for the first 5 laps of every run. Will the bottom of Justin Allgaier prevail, or will we see a little bit of what we seen last year in the Southern 500 with Kyle Larson pinning it up against the fence on the last lap? If there's one guy in the field that we could see doing that, if he's close enough, I think it's that 9 car.
That's true. And everyone watched what Kyle Larson did here. He
almost video game it. Yeah.
Yes, he laid it against the fence and kept it to the wood, completely destroying a race car for a chance to win. Hey, man, it's a shot to win. Go for it. Might happen again.
Junior Motorsports has won the last 2 races, 2 different drivers. Gragson at Talladega last Saturday, Josh Berry at Dover. They've won both stages in the last 3 races, including what they've done here today, trying to finish the deal and put another one of their cars in victory lane. It would be their 3rd consecutive win here at Darlington. But Allmendinger, even though he's on the older tires, the control car from the inside lane. 2 remaining at the track, too tough to tame.
It's about as good of a start as you can ask out of AJ Allmendinger for the 2nd time in a row. The 7's able to hang up there.
Yeah.
Build a nice gap, too, over to 9.
Allgaier takes over the race lead from the outside lane. Gregson slides into second. Riley Herbst is on the move. John Hunter Nemechek not done. Jeremy Clements is there.
Loiza 7 has checked out.
Yes, he has.
Yep.
White flag is out. 1 lap to go at Darlington, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
They are battling hard behind him. He's got that white flag. He does not care anymore.
Next flag ends the race. Should we see the caution?
Keep digging here. They say we're coming to the checker
closed the
this
gap
time.
a little bit. I don't think he's going to be quite close enough, though.
Here they come through turns 3 and 4. The winless streak is going to be over. Justin Allgaier back to victory lane at Darlington.
Caution's out, caution's out.
Yeah, they're out, but to come back here and win this place, man, I love you guys. Pit stops were awesome. Thank you, pit crew. Jason, thank you, buddy.
Well-deserved victory. Had it coming for a long time. Fast car, great execution. There's Mama Bear up there.
Hey, hand me that step.
And you heard him say on the radio, caution as we saw the checkers. Among those involved, Ryan Truex. Here's a replay.
Ooh. 18 had a good run up top, and 51 came right up front of him. Unfortunately, they had a shot of 2 good finishes, and neither of them got it.
Second year in a row, Justin Allgaier wins at Darlington. It's career win 17, and Junior Motorsports has now won 3 in a row this season and 3 in a row here at this famed track in South Carolina.
Junior Motorsports again, 3 out of the top 5 cars with Allgaier, Gregson, Mayer running 5th, showing their muscle right now.
And let's give some love to the other drivers in the top 5. Riley Herbst, good day. He continues his hot streak, was 3rd. And John Hunter Nemechek 4th, just off the best ever run for Sam Hunt Racing.
That was a good race, guys. All the way through. There's a lot of cat and mouse going back and forth. Tires, strategy. Good Darlington race.
I think it looked like Nemechek was maybe going over to talk to Riley Herbst there. Not sure. We'll see if we can follow up.
Justin's doing a whole year's worth of burnouts right now.
Yeah, I think this, when you start in the back and you're 4th at the end of the opening stage, that's an indicator of how good your car is. Talk about flexing muscles. Justin Allgaier did it here today.
Sure did.
Dale Jr. has built a great program. It's their 5th win at Darlington. And the all-time leader at JRM is number 7, Allgaier. And a high five from Mom. Gregson over to congratulate him. With a few choice words there, right?
I think he was sideways.
I think he was.
Very sideways.
Let's hear from him. Regan?
Well, Justin, it's been a year since the last time we talked to you on the front straightaway after a victory. You come back to Darlington 1 year later. You got the job done finally.
Got the job done. You fans are awesome. I could see everybody standing up there those last few laps, and that's a sight for sore eyes, as rough as it's been. But this team right here, pit stops today, we're killing it. They were awesome. This Hellman's Camaro was so fast. Just a testament to the 7 guys, but everybody at Junior Motorsports, they've been working so hard. And it's showing with our finishes, not just our 17, but all of us. All of our partners, you know, obviously to get Brent Professional Agriculture back to victory lane, all of our Unilever partners, Chevrolet, the Hendrick department, just absolutely incredible. I'm super bummed my wife and my kids aren't here today. my daughter had a softball tournament, and they won their game, so it's only fitting that we won the race. And happy Mother's Day to my wife, to my mom, to all you moms out there. Y'all are rock stars. And that's what tomorrow's all about, is Mother's Day. So, Regan, we've been doing this way too long. You know how this feels, and it feels great to get back to victory lane, especially in front of a great crowd and beautiful weather. So we'll hopefully carry this momentum on for a few more weeks. And by the way, it was awesome racing with my teammates. That was probably the coolest part, is racing with my teammates all day. So hats off to those guys.
Got to ask you about the start of the race real quick. This day didn't come without some adversity. You went to the back at the start of this race, worked your way through that field very quick. How nice was that to get all those positions right away?
Oh, it was great, and then I felt really bad. I felt like we gave that last stage away, or the second stage away, and I knew that I didn't want to do that again. You know, so I knew restarts were going to be important. The guys on pit road, though, I can't say enough about our pit stops today. They were incredible and really were the difference. But you know, it's Noah and I rode a charity bike ride this morning, and he told me that he was going on the top. I told him I was going on the bottom, and he told me there's no way that'll work, and it worked. So good Lord upstairs will definitely watch over me on that one today.
Justin Allgaier wins the Xfinity Series on Mother's Day weekend at Darlington.
Well, all right, Noah, you heard him right there. It did work for him. What was the difference today?
Yeah, he said, we went on a bike ride this morning. We actually took a couple laps around the racetrack on our bikes. He was actually running the bottom on his bike. I was up on the wall. They were painting the walls, and I was up there just trying to feel it out. But first off, I want to congratulate Justin and the whole 7 team. Really proud of the effort by everybody on this Bass Pro Shop team. And you know, Luke Lambert and the boys, we were fast yesterday in practice, but just didn't really have the feel that I really wanted yesterday in practice, so that had me a little nervous, but we just kept persevering. The Hendrick engines were awesome today, 1-2 finish for Junior Motorsports. Thanks to everybody back at the Hendrick Engine Shop and Junior Motorsports, everybody who makes this possible. What a day. Like you said, Justin ran the bottom, we ran the top. I thought we were going to have the top rolling on them, just came up a little bit short there, but proud of everyone's efforts.
It's so impressive from an organization standpoint. What's this organization capable of the rest of the way?
Well, I mean, my crew chief, Luke, he just told me, he's like, if this is an average day, it's a pretty good day. So 2 stage wins. It's just a lot of hard work and preparation, and I think it's really showing out on the racetrack. I mean, that's 3 wins here at Darlington. This is a good track for us, but at the same time, three wins in a row for Junior Motorsports. So, you know, Josh has got a win, Justin's got wins. So, you know, it's fun when the whole shop is just running on all cylinders. It's a good time. But just so thankful for Johnny Morris, Rusty Sellers, the guys over at Black Rifle Coffee, True Timber, and Bass Pro Shops, everybody who helps get this car to the racetrack. It's just a blast here at Darlington, having fun.
Noah Gragson, runner-up for the 3rd time this season. Regan?
Well, Vince, it got exciting at the end of the race there with Tyler Reddick. It restarted up front, stayed out on old tires. Unfortunately, those old tires, though, didn't hold up, got into the wall. Still, nonetheless, a great run for your first time here with Big Machine Racing.
Yeah, Regan, it was definitely a tough day. We were starting in the 34th position. We were trying to make some ground up early, and I just, being too aggressive beginning the race, ran the back of Mike Snyder. Busted our nose up almost entirely and then cut a right front tire down, and that put us down a set pretty much the rest of the race. That was a very difficult thing to overcome, but our Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers Chevrolet was good, and you know, we were right there with those guys in the top 5 at the end. I guess I wish I would have went with the top on that final restart. Who knows how that would have played out. Probably still would have ended up around 5th, but it would have been fun to have a chance to fight for at the end there, but ran right up by the wall all day long, and I finally got it at the worst time, so that was a bummer.
Thanks, Tyler. Vince?
Riley Herbst, season best 3rd place finish here today. 5 straight top 10s for this 98 group. What's clicking for you guys?
We're just kind of doing the small things right, honestly, Vince. Just a testament to everybody at Stewart Haas Racing and Ford Performance and Monster Energy for staying with us. And we're starting to get it together now, obviously, and hopefully we'll get the summer months going. But obviously, shout out to all the moms. Happy Mother's Day. And we're thinking of Mr. Haas with his mother passing. So it's been a good weekend, and hopefully the Haas F1 cars can have a good showing down in Miami, too.
Well done. Adam?
You know, it was a strong day for Chevrolet. 7 in the top 10, including all 3 from Colleague Racing. A.J. Allmendinger, 11 consecutive top 10 finishes. But nobody had anything for Justin Allgaier. He's a winner. It's all over in Darlington. Congratulations, Justin Allgaier. Really good today. Leads the most laps, 76 out front after starting in the rear. He's now got 17 career victories, 14 of those coming driving the 7 car for Dale Jr. Let's get more post-race reaction. Here's Vince.
Well, after winning the Truck Series race last night, John Hunter Nemechek runs 4th in the Xfinity show today. And there was a point late in the race. You're chasing the leader, Justin Allgaier, and there was concern of whether you're going to pass him, maybe you used up your stuff. Take us to that point and what happened.
Well, I didn't need that last caution, that's for sure. With that last caution, we had to come down to pit. And, pit crew did really good today. We maintained on pit road, so that's a step in the right direction. We lost a couple spots. That last one put us back a little bit, and then that was pretty much it. That's all she wrote, but definitely didn't need that caution. I thought we were better than the 7. He was using up his stuff in front of me, and I thought that we were kind of running the pace that I needed to stay with him, to try and force him into a mistake. And I was going to have one shot to pass him, and that's all it was going to be. So just was trying to bide my time, not use up my equipment, and be there when it counted. Sadly, the caution came out, and but proud of everyone at Sam Hunt Racing. Thank you to Stillhouse 1111, all of our great partners that help us get here. Sam for tagging me to come and drive this fast Toyota Supra. Thank you to Toyota, TRD as well, and the fans for coming out. Awesome crowd again.
Frankly, Sam Hunt Racing doesn't have some of the assets that a lot of the big name teams do. You took their car and ran it to a top 5 position, threatened to win this race. What's that say about the combination of what Sam and his organization brings to the track and what you bring behind the wheel?
Sam's equipment isn't bad. It's older equipment. We know that going into it, but it's how you manage your day. It's how you adjust on your car, the setup that you bring. There's a lot of things that can go into it, and then also the driving aspect, trying to know what you need for later in the race as the race continues on. So Alan, I think, has definitely helped the program this year. He's brought a lot of experience and notes over. I feel like Toyota and TRD have stepped up in a big way, and Sam Hunt also made some adjustments over the off-season. New shop, bought some newer cars than they had last year, and stepped up to try and get the program better. Sam wants to turn it into a contending organization every single week, no matter who's in the car, and that's what we're trying to build towards.
Yeah, you wheeled it today. Good job. Regan?
Well, it's a solid 5th place run today for Sam Mayer. Sam, your team told me early on in the race that you were going to have to learn this racetrack for the first 2 stages and then get after it in the 3rd. That's exactly what you did today.
Man, I can't help but just laugh at this entire day. Like, it's so weird. I mean, I had a ton of fun, obviously, at the end, running up front with all the good guys. And learning, like you said, the first 2 stages I was lost. I was like, oh God, this place, I can't stand it. But then last stage came around, we got the car really dialed in. It was really, really good. This accelerated Chevy Camaro was pretty spot on at the end. And obviously with that last pit stop, the caution being 18th with like 3 to go, I'm like, oh, what a good day turning into that. And then I don't know what happened. Somehow we ended up in the top 5. So really proud of this team, really proud of everyone on board, Accelerate and QPS Employment Group and all their partners. Like, really proud of everyone involved, and we're going to keep that streak going.
5th top 5 in the last 6 races for Sam Mayer. Things going well for the one car.
Yeah, and he's doing that at 18. It's some really difficult racetracks. And, hey, the big theme today, no doubt about it, Junior Motorsports, again, 3 cars inside the top 5. Let's get a final word from Coleman Presley. I got to say, Coleman, you do a great job for us managing what's happening on all these restarts and anticipating the choose. Great work up there.
Hey, thanks, Adam. It was a lot of fun with you guys today. We've seen a lot of things that's going to apply for tomorrow. Restarts, pit road, managing tires. The same thing's going to apply tomorrow, just in a bigger capacity. It was a great race today. I learned a lot being up here watching. Hopefully Joey did in the booth, and he can keep our car up front.
Well, and the pressure is on because Joey's starting on the pole here tomorrow. Coleman, great job. We'll see you in Texas in a couple of weeks, okay?
All right, thanks, guys.
Quickly, a final thought on what we saw here today. Big win for Justin Allgaier.
Absolutely. So a win that was much overdue, been so close to winning for so long. Ran really well up front, executed a great race, but so many other great stories that came along with us. We had amazing drama there at the end with those late race cautions, pit stops, cars with 15-lap tires, cars with new tires, and the mess that creates. It's a lot of fun to watch.
A lot of variation, too. You know, Allgaier and Gragson talked about, you know, they were both committed to running the bottom and the top of 3 and 4. So that was pretty fun to see what lane will prevail. And obviously the 7s lane on the bottom did prevail. So maybe that plays into tomorrow. But a lot of exciting things today. Great run by Sam Hunt Racing. That's awesome to see that group, you know, contending for the lead. And I'm sure wins will come very soon.
Let's go to tomorrow. We said it, Joey, you're on the pole. Ryan, you start 6th. What do we anticipate? 400 miles at Darlington.
After watching this, I just hope I picked the right lane to start this thing and do the right things.
Yeah.
But great day today for us getting the Shell Penzo Mustang on the front row. That felt good. It's my youngest son's birthday, Jameson, so happy birthday, J-Mo, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms, my mom, Brittany, as well. And hopefully it's a great day tomorrow.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day. I'm headed to Florence Motor Speedway myself for some Advanced My Track Challenge stuff with Advanced Auto Parts. So I was in the booth with you guys, and now I have to go to another racetrack.
Hey, thank you for being here,
So,
and thank you for this, the
You're
throwback
welcome,
uniform.
Adam.
I
You're
love
welcome.
it. And by the
You
way,
look
the
great.
tie, it's all yours, okay?
Yeah,
I mean, as soon
I
as we
appreciate
say goodbye, it's coming off.
Okay,
and,
good.
And it's
It's a
all yours.
clip-on anyway. You
Good
should
luck
rip it
tomorrow.
off.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, it was a fun afternoon here in Darlington, no doubt about it. Justin Allgaier able to capture his first win of 2022, the second time he's pulled it off here at the track. Too tough to tame. Next up for the Xfinity Series, 2 weeks from now, we'll be in Texas tomorrow. The Cup car is on track. Race day gets us going on FS1 at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for watching from Darlington, where Throwback Weekend was a huge success. Yes, it produced those typical Darlington moments, but at the end of the day, it was Justin Allgaier who got it done. Thank you for watching. Enjoy baseball. It's happening now on FS1.
We are the ones at the top of the mountain, climb tight in the buckle. One with the right crowd that likes to rumble. Hold a nice crown, it's hard to be humble. We welcome you now to